Hello friends, welcome back to my channel MEO Exams. So friends, in the last video we have studied about annealing and various methods of annealing, and we have seen normalizing. In this video we will see hardening or quenching, then we'll see tempering, then after that mar tempering and os tempering. So let's begin with this video. So friends, hardening is basically carried out at a temperature about 50 degrees Celsius above A3 and 50 degrees Celsius above A1 temperature. So friends, as you can see, this region is for this temperature region is for hardening. Okay, so for hypoeutectoid steel it is heated above A3 temperature, and for hypereutectoid steel it is heated above A1 temperature. Then for the cooling, it is cooled in such a way that the rate of cooling should be high enough to miss this nose of CCT curve. As you can see, this is the cooling curve in the CCT diagram for the hardening process. Basically in this martensite is formed by hardening process. Martensite microstructure is formed, which is a very hard phase and have a very high strength. So this is what uh, the hardening process is all about. Now let's see a little bit about what are martensite microstructures and bainite microstructures. As you know friends, that bainite exists over here, that is also as like martensite and bainite. They both exist in metal. They both are meta stable states, not the they does not exist in equilibrium. That is why we have not seen them in this phase diagram, iron carbide phase diagram. They are not present over here because they are present only in meta stable state. So hardening basically imparts high hardness to steel by producing martensite in the steel. Then this develops a hardness to this wear resistance and improve strength to cut other metals. That is this is used for uh, making cutting tools. Then if the product is weak, then there are lot of thermal stresses in the material. So for doing heat treatment of big material, an alloying element must be added. So what does this alloying element do? This basically shifts the nose of TTT curve towards right, and we get enough time for slower cooling rate. So this particular point, just keep it in mind. This point we will elaborate when we will study about Mar tempering. Basically this is what is the this is actually the another solution of with respect to Mar tempering. Mar tempering is basically substitute for this one. So martensites, we will study a little bit about martensite and bainite structure. Okay friends, because you will not come to know the properties of these if you don't know what they are. So they are formed by diffusionless transformation. As you know that pearlite is formed by diffusion process, but these martensites are formed by diffusionless transformation. And the process by which they are formed is called displacive transformation. In this, carbon atom actually moves little bit in the lattice in all directions, x, y, z direction, and makes this transformation happen because of application of shear forces. Okay friends, so basically over here, instead of diffusion, shear forces acts, and this moves this carbon atoms little bit. The shear forces not the they this shear forces does not move the carbon atom, but instead they move the R atom from one atomic configuration to other atomic configuration. So basically this shear forces basically helps in formation of this martensite microstructure. Now let's begin with the bainite. So bainites are formed in a temperature range which is intermediate between perlite and martensite. So in between perlite and martensite we get bainite. So bainite transformation is actually combination of diffusion as well as this diffusionless transformation, that is displacive transformation. This is combination of both the transformations. In this, from one interstitial position to another interstitial position, carbon atoms can diffuse, okay friends, but iron atom does not diffuse at all. They are moved by this with the help of this shearing force. So basically the iron position change position from austenite to ferrite plus cementite by the movement which happens in case of in case of martensite. So the shear force moves the iron atom from one atomic configuration to other atomic configuration. So basically this bainite structure is found by the combined transformation of diffusion plus displacive, and whereas martensite is a diffusion-led transformation, and that take place because of shearing force. Now let's see about this tempering process. So friends, by doing hardening process, the component or the product becomes brittle. So tampering is to be carried out to relieve the internal stresses and impart little bit ductility to the material. So as you can see that steel hardened by rapid quenching is very hard and very brittle. So it contains internal stresses, as I have already told you, and these internal stresses can cause crack and even uneven rupture or even rupture of the hardened steel. So tampering is done to remove this brittleness and these internal stresses. So the product of tampering will be a desired combination of hardness, ductility, toughness, strength, and structural stability. This is what we will do after this is what we are going to get after doing tempering. So for tempering, we have to heat at around 400 to 500 degrees Celsius. So as you can see friends, this region is for tempering. So for tempering, we have to heat the product or the workpiece to this working temperature. As martensite is a metal stable phase, carbon will precipitate out, forming two stable phases, which is ferrite and cementite. So as we know friends that in martensite the transformation is diffusionless. So what happens as we heat this martensite to this 400 to 500 degrees Celsius, then what happens, the carbon which is present, this precipitates out, as this martensite structure is not stable, it is metastable. So the carbon precipitates out in two stable phases, which are ferrite and cementite. So for after the temperature is raised to 400 to 500 degrees Celsius, then we have to hold the workpiece at that particular temperature for considerable time. As you can see, this is the tempering process. First we have heated, then we are holding it, then we have to slowly cool it down. Then properties we have already studied that a tempered martensite will have lower hardened, but it will have better ductility. So the process basically increases ductility, relieves internal stresses, and makes the steel tough to resist shock and fatigue. So this is what happens in tempering. So let's see about mar tempering. So friends, as I have already told you, then when component is big, then the rate of heat transformation at the surface and at the center will be different. At the surface it will be more, that is the rate of cooling will be more as compared to surface. As you can see from here, this is the cooling rate for the surface and this is the cooling rate for the core or the center. So what happens if we do um hardening for developing martensite structure, then what will happen, so many internal stresses will be developed and thermal stresses will also develop. So to reduce the thermal stresses and internal stresses, we have to do this Mar tempering. So one way was to shift this nose of CCT curve towards the right, okay, by adding alloying element that I have already told you. Then the other way is this Mar tempering. So hope you friends understand that if we are moving this nose of this CCT curve towards right, then what is happening, we are getting we can cool at much slower rate. Suppose nose is present over here, then we can have cooling rate this like this, okay friends. So the rate of cooling will be reduced, so the thermal stresses which are induced in the martensite structure will be less. So that was one of the process. But in Mar tempering, what we are doing, we are cooling, we are heating at about 50 degrees Celsius above A3 temperature for hypoeutectoid steel and 50 degrees Celsius above A1 hypereutectoid steel. So basically, friends, this is the region for this Mar tempering. Then cooling is done and it is just stopped before this ms temperature. This is the starting temperature for uh, this martensite formation. At this temperature martensite structure formation takes place, so we have to start just before this temperature and we have to wait, okay friends. So we have to wait at this temperature, just before this temperature. After reaching at this point, we have to wait. That means that we have to uh, do isothermal cooling. So what happens friends, this gets basically enough time so that internal core and the surface, they both come to same temperature, and then after this we do the quenching, as you can see over here, to get the martensite structure. Okay friends, so this is how this Mar tempering is done. So Mar tempering basically lowers the stresses which are formed during martensite transformation, and this reduces thermal stresses. Similarly friends, we have Oz tempering. In Oz tempering basically friends, this also reduces the thermal stresses or basically internal stresses, but in this the bainite microstructure is formed. So this is also done if the these product are big enough, that is its surface and its center rate of heat transformation will be large enough. So what happens, what we do, basically we cool the product so that uh, mm, this is the critical cooling curve, which is just touching this nose. So we have to cool enough so that we avoid this nose hitting this nose, or we have to cool more than critical cooling curve. Then at this temperature, just before martensite temperature, we have to cool it isothermally, and we have to cross this CCT curve or TTT curve. As you can see friends, this is the starting point for the formation of bainite, and this is the finish point for the bainite structure. We have to cool it isothermally for long enough so that we crosses this region, okay friends, and then this comes to bainite region. Then properties will be this will have good strength and ductility. Temperature is the temperature heating temperature is same as that we have done for Mar tempering, that is this temperature range. That is for hypo-eutectoid steel, it is above A3, 50 degrees above A3, and for hyper-eutectoid steel, it is 50 above A1. This region. So hope you friends enjoyed this video and learned something from this video. In the next video, I will tell you about case hardening, or the various processes which are used for surface hardening. Till now, what we have studied is for the uh, bulk hardening, means that so not bulk hardening, basically bulk heat treatment processes. Basically, the whole product or the workpiece is taken under heat treatment. But in the next video, we will study about the only surface hardening, which is also called the case hardening. So till then, take care, have fun.